too.
All right. So go ahead, Chris. And, for the rest of you out there, this is the Educated Retirement Radio. Chris has been with us a couple of times before.
Yes.
And hopefully will be a couple of more times. So there. Anyway, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Chris Bissonnette. I'm a wealth advisor with Holistic Financial Planning. Been doing that for 25 years. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the financial literacy crisis as well as financial life management. And that's really what I think most Americans need, is to just get their stuff organized.
True. Now, are those UFOs we hear in the background?
I don't think they make a lot of noise, Jay, from what I understand.
I thought I heard something. Yeah, okay, sorry. Go ahead, please. I had lost
Myself? You want me to go?
Please.
Okay, so did you want me to talk about the financial life management stuff?
Absolutely.
Okay,
as long
so
as you think everybody knows how to get a hold of you well enough.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to try and get a hold of me, it's simple. You can go to holisticfinancialplanning.us. That's my main website that lists the different companies I represent. Holisticfinancialplanning.us. And I do believe that's the model of planning today, where it's holistic, where it's like kind of all connected. Insurance, investments, real estate, your legal documents, your debt, it's all got to be connected. So I've been on before and I talked about the financial literacy crisis, which you can see here on the cover of Investment News. The problem today, Jay, is we have all these accounts that we never had 30 years ago. We have all this new noise coming at us that we didn't have 30 years ago. So for most Americans, what they need to do is get their stuff organized. And I'm going to show, let's see. Okay, you should be able to see my screen here. There is a website that I use that, again, if your listeners are interested, I'll set them up complimentary with this website called eMoney. And eMoney is a software developed by Fidelity that allows a person to connect all their accounts in one secure place. And then from there, they can do some pretty elaborate planning, such as goal planning, such as debt management. They can see all their spending. So this one here on your screen here is there's a couple goals put in, and you can see how you're progressing on those and how your cash flow is doing. But what most Americans need, and what most Americans do a really poor job at, is budgeting and managing their spending. And so this intuitively creates a budget based on their spending, so they can attach you can link your credit cards and your checking savings. And that, to me, is really the first step that most Americans need to take in their financial life management.
It's kind of like needing to know what you've got before you can even decide on how to best take care of what you've got. Did we I told you those aliens were out after us.
Sorry, I think I clicked something. Sorry, guys.
No, it was the aliens. But in the meantime, if you want to see, and again, he's going to show it. I think Chris will put it on the screen again. I think he can do that.
You want me to do it again? Put it back?
Yeah, because it went off too fast, or and it went off unexpectedly. I think you want to see it, and if you're not watching it right now, remember to go visit him or visit me. The easy way is drheckham.com, and halfway down the list is the front page is a link for the videos, or all the way at the bottom of every single page is a KMET link, and then go to the TV, and on the right side you'll see a list, and the show will be there. Or ask, and I can send you. I have videos of all these shows. I can send it to you. So don't feel you're missing this. You'll get it. Okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a couple neat features to it. Again, I talked about the goals. I talked about the spending. If you have multiple investments, like a lot of people do, and they have them in different places, such as they have an IRA or a pension, a 401k. Well, it's nice because you'll be able to see it all in one place. And you can also look at the allocation to make sure there's not duplication of investments. And then you can kind of run them against each other and see how they're doing. Another thing that some people like a lot is the vault. So there does come with a gated vault. And so for a lot of my clients, they don't like emailing personal stuff. Understandable. So I tell them, put it in the gated vault, and there's a shared documents folder, and then I can retrieve it from that. And I have clients put all their important documents, even passports and stuff, in here. And then what I'm able to do, so this is what the client sees, essentially. It's kind of their dashboard, where they can see their net worth, which is the most important number to know when you're growing your wealth. And then you can click on little things to see assets, income, cash versus debt, and then you can look at your investments quickly to see your top holdings, to see what's performing well, etc. But what really makes this special compared to like a typical robo software out there is I can do analysis. And so this is what I see on my end. And then what I'm able to do is go into these pretty elaborate calculators. For example, this decision center. And then this is where I can run different scenarios for clients. For example, this shows how your cash value is growing. But this, so you can see if you don't do anything, hey, here's how your cash is going to do. But if you did say you were going to work part-time in retirement and you add a little bit of income, you can see the green goes up. You say you were going to sell that house in Arizona. As you can see, that adds a little bit more. You've got to send some kids to school for college, for example. That's going to obviously decrease things. And then the one in here I added, which I know you can appreciate, Jay, is God forbid we have to incur long-term care costs, which obviously is a major problem in the United States. And I know that, using a reverse mortgage sometimes to access cash for long-term care costs is a big help. So let's add that in there. And then you can see how that affects things. So as you can see there, that really put a big dip in things. And then I can go into modify, and I can say, what else are we looking at doing? Are we going to buy more property, et cetera? And so it gives like real time based on your linked assets. I mean, so it's as close you can get to actual financial planning. Not a lot of advisors use it because it is expensive and it's somewhat complicated. But in my opinion, if you want to do real financial planning, you should look at the whole big picture. You should be looking at people's property casualty insurance. You should be looking at their mortgage. It's not just, I'm going to look at your investments. That's not what true financial planning is today. I got to see the big picture. I got to see for retirement, what are the costs? What are you using to fund it? And this software is the most elaborate.
Now, I think for someone, I know Mr. and Mrs. Smith there that you had for examples.
Yes, this is them.
They do have some assets. But what about younger people or other people that are in a situation where they don't have a great deal of assets, but would like to start getting some?
Okay, so that's another good one. So what that's referred to as today from financial planners is they're called Henrys. Have you heard that term before?
No.
No. So a Henry is high earner, not yet rich. Not rich yet. High earner, not rich yet. And so they too, but see, the thing is I tell people, even if you have no money, right? You still have a checking account, you still have a credit card, you still have auto insurance, you still have health insurance, you may have a student loan. You probably still have 10 different accounts. So you might as well at least get those organized, even if it's organizing $50,000 of credit card debt. You might as well get it all on the same page where you can see it. And what that does is it relieves a lot of anxiety, because a lot of it, when it's all in your head, your finances, and 1/3 of all Americans are so stressed on their finances it affects them at their work. When it's just in their head, they're always stressing on it because it's just jumping. But when
if you don't have something specific to look at, you sometimes get the feeling that it's out of control.
Yeah, but this way you can kind of see it, and now you can manage it once you can see it. And then I can also, for those people, they just need a savings plan. So you say, hey, let's go ahead and start chipping away at a Roth IRA, or just start building up emergency money. Most people don't have enough money in their emergency account, so you just start saving there.
No kidding. Yep. Every time the car goes bad, or there's a health problem, or
I think it's 40% of Americans can't handle an emergency like you're describing. 40%.
And let me throw something in there too for anybody who has any children listening, or grandchildren, or if you're one of those children. Any of you need help getting through college, let me tell you, Chris is the master. He's like, it's as if he himself were an alien. He's like he came from outer space in a flying saucer to help us. I know that not all aliens are supposed to be good, but I'm saying it that way because it's so strange. Most people have never heard of what he talks about. When he gets with you, he can save you tens of thousands or more on sending you, your children, or your grandchildren to any school in the country.
Thank you. That was well said. And speaking of the alien part, I am AB negative blood.
Oh, yeah, so am I. Yeah.
You're AB negative?
Yeah, I believe it.
Well, it's negative blood is supposed to be alien blood because it doesn't have the rhesus monkey gene. So
no, I'm O negative.
Oh, well, only 15% of people are negative. It doesn't have a rhesus monkey gene. So, but thank you for that intro on the college planning. I'm going to do 9 workshops this month at all the Orange County libraries. But this kind of sums up what I do. I'm known as Orange County's financial aid expert, or FAFSA Pro, which is the financial aid form. And my company files the FAFSA for the parents, which is a great service that most people have no idea exists. And the FAFSA is just like a tax return, and it's the largest expense you may ever incur in your life. And most Americans do it on their own and screw it up.
Yeah.
Here's an example of what you talked about.
A house may cost more, but you've got 30 years to pay for it. And this, you need 4 years to pay for it.
Yeah, so here's an example of myself saving someone $10,000 a year at University of Chicago.
Yep.
These are some workshops, but I try and here's one where I saved someone $24,000 per year at UCLA. $24,000.
Wow. Per year?
Per year, because you got to file a FAFSA every year.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm working on one right now, a huge case where the guy's got about $5 million, where I'll take his EFC down from maybe 150,000 to like 20,000. So.
Wow.
Yeah, so I do have a couple workshops coming up. I'll be in Irvine next week and Laguna Beach next week as well, doing a couple planning workshops for the local libraries.
Maybe if anyone's come with me one of these times. We'll do one out in some other areas. But one more, repeat how much huge money it costs for someone to get a hold of you to talk about eMoney.
How to get a hold of me?
No, how much money is it going to take them to get a hold of you and discuss the eMoney?
For your listeners, there's no charge to do it.
There you go.
There's no charge to do an initial consultation. I do charge $300 an hour as my planning fee, or it's $2,500 for a full plan. Some people want like a book and a plan. Yeah. I prefer the hourly. I like being paid just like an attorney or a CPA, where you pay for my time. Right. But if any of your listeners
more ongoing too, and it's like both you and the clients have more on the line.
Yeah, but if any of your clients or guests or listeners have just general questions, college or eMoney, I do a subscription to eMoney where it's $25 a month because the new thing is subscriptions. So people can just sign up for eMoney and not get me, or so I give people a variety of ways.
Right. Very good. Yeah, you are a standout as far as I can tell.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I've been around a long time, so I can tell.
Yes.
I can tell those things. All right. So one more time on how to get a hold of you.
People can probably easiest if you want to just call me. I have an easy phone number, 949-590-9940. Or they can go to my website where it shows all the companies I represent. And I'll pull it up here. It's holisticfinancialplanning.com. They could holisticfinancialplanning.com there. And here you'll see the different companies I represent. I represent a lot of nonprofits, as well as the college, and then LPL, which is the largest independent broker dealer, is where I hang my license, because I can offer anything.
Right. So you're not just working for, I don't even mention one of the big companies.
Well, yeah, no offense. And
all they can sell is what they have, right?
Unfortunately, they're good companies, but you usually have a contract to sell their products.
Right. That's why you are there.
You're just
there
not
to help
unbiased.
the company. Right.
Yeah. So I'm independent. So.
Yeah.